welcome to my channel. My name's Kaylee. This is my first makeup tutorial for this channel, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Today I'll be doing my go-to everyday makeup look, so let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so first I always go in with my skincare and then finish with my sunscreen. I don't typically use a primer under my makeup. I just haven't found one that I really like, and I feel like my sunscreen is really nice under makeup. I use the Hero Cosmetics Super Shield Super Light Sunscreen, and I feel like that does a really nice job at just kind of creating a nice base for my foundation to go on. So that is already done, so I'm going to go straight in with my foundation. This is my all-time favorite foundation combination. I use the L'Oreal Infallible in the matte version and the Maybelline Fit Me in the matte and poreless as well. I've tried the glowy version of this and I do really like it as well. They're both beautiful, but I find that this one lasts a little longer throughout the day. I have combination skin, so it is sometimes hard to decide which foundation works better on my skin. Sometimes matte does, sometimes glowy does. So for this specific foundation, I do prefer the matte version. So I'll go in with that first. I usually do more of this and then a little drop of this one. Obviously, it's a lot darker than my skin tone, but I do a little drop of this just to add a little bit of warmth in my foundation. I usually do a pretty thin layer of foundation. I just kind of use it to even out the skin tone, and then I use my concealer to spot cover. Just using my Real Technique sponge for this. I usually dab it on the places that I need like more coverage, which is usually like my forehead and along my chin here because I have a little bit of like scarring. Also for foundation, I know some people like going under the eyes and then going on top with concealer. I personally don't like doing that. The more product you put under the eyes or just anywhere that creases, typically the more product you put, the more it will crease. So I don't see the point in going in with foundation under the eyes if I'm just gonna go in with concealer, because it's just gonna be too much product under the eye and I just find that that creases more. So I usually leave my eyes and just use the concealer there. Once that's all blended, I go straight in with my concealer. I've been using this concealer for years. It's the Tarte Shape Tape. This is just my all-time favorite concealer. I can't find one as good as this. I know a lot of people find it to be a little bit drying under the eyes. My under eyes don't typically get too dry, so I find that it still looks really nice, and it's only concealer that I've used that I find like doesn't crease as much as others, so I love it. And I have it in two shades here. I have Bare Neutral and Light Medium. So I use this under the eyes to kind of highlight everywhere, and then I go in with this to cover spots, and then also again to just add a little bit of warmth to my face. First I'm going to just spot cover with the darker shade, and then going in with my lighter one here. I also use this to prep my eyelids as well, so like an eye primer. So try not to go in with too much concealer under the eyes. My under eye circles aren't too dark, so I don't find that I need it. But if you do have darker circles under your eyes, you can definitely use like a color corrector rather than going in with like just like loading on the concealer. Going in with like a peach or orange toned color corrector will help with the darkness under the eyes, and then you don't have to use a ton of concealer. That is all blended. So next I'm gonna go in with my cream bronzer and my cream blush. You always wanna go in with your cream products before putting any powder. Always cream first and then powder after to set everything. So I've been using the Patrick Ta for Face Cream Contour and Bronzer Duo. I've been enjoying it. I definitely got it in a darker shade. I got it in the medium, I forget what it's called. It's called She's Bronze. So I got it in the medium shade because I tend to like my bronzers to be a little bit darker and on the warmer side. I do have a neutral skin tone, so I can kind of go more ashy or more warm, and I find that I prefer warm. But there was definitely a few shades lighter if you have fairer skin like me as well. But I've really been liking the cream. The bronzer I don't feel like has a lot of pigment to it, which comparing it to my other bronzers I use, I just feel like it's just not as pigmented. So I'm not obsessed with the powder, but I do love the cream. I find, again, it's not super pigmented. Like if you've ever used the Rare Beauty bronzer stick, like it's definitely not as pigmented as that, but I actually kind of like it. I just find that it's very buildable and like easy to blend up and just looks a little more natural. So I've definitely been enjoying the cream. Just going in with a flat brush like this, and I'm just gonna dab it in there and just putting it on my higher cheekbone. Just make sure you don't go like underneath. You can see like where that line sort of is, you don't want to go under there because that's going to bring the face down. The idea is to kind of bring the face up. So I focus it above that line and then bringing it upwards. And then I also like to do some on my forehead as well, just like on the outer corners, I guess. There we go. I'm going in with my cream blush. So I've been using the NARS, the multiple stick in Orgasm Rush. I think this might have been limited edition, like the pink cover. They do still have a blush stick in Orgasm, but it's like in a black package. So yeah, I don't know if this was limited edition, but I have really been enjoying it. It looks like it's gonna be really dark, but it actually turns out to be like a really nice sort of golden peach color, so I've really been liking it. And I like to focus this on the upper cheekbone and then bringing it just slightly up here next to the eye. Blending that with another flat but kind of fluffy brush as well. Again, just blending it up. And I like to go like a little bit under the eye as well. And if you find that you kind of go in with too much blush, you can definitely like tap it out with your beauty blender or your like foundation brush or whatever it is you're using, just to kind of blend it and make it look a little less crazy. Before I set my face, I like to go back in with my beauty blender just to make sure everything's still blended out and not started to crease yet, especially like the eyelids and under the eyes. Before I set it, I just want to make sure that there's no creasing so that when I set it, it's not gonna like set the creases. To set the face, I've been using a new powder. I really want to find a nice talc-free powder that I love, because I've been using the Airspun loose face powder for years and I love it. Like, I love how it sets my face, but I'm trying to go for more of it, like I said, a talc-free powder. So I want to try and stop using that one, but I want to find one that sets my face as good as that one does. So I'm trying out the Huda Beauty face powder, the loose face powder in the shade Pound Cake. So let's give it a try. I've used it, but I've used it with like other new products, like new concealers I've been trying on, new foundations. Haven't loved how that's looked, but I don't know if it's the powder or the other new products. So I want to try it out with my everyday products just to see if it is the powder or the other products. So let's give it a go. I like to use my Real Technique sponge for this, just the same one. I always go and set the under eyes first. Really want to try the Cherry Blossom shade for this powder, but I wanted to try out like just a normal shade first to see if I like it, if it's worth the money, and then if I like it, I'll try out the Cherry Blossom one. Looks really, really pretty. Okay, and then I like to set my nose and my chin and just kind of along the jaw here. Kind of helps to like brighten that area. And the forehead, because those are the spots that I get a little bit oilier and my makeup tends to not last like throughout the day. So always want to make sure those areas are set. I know some people like not using powder at all, which I just could never do, but if you do have drier skin, I know that probably sometimes works better, but just because I do have combination skin, I need to make sure everything's set. Okay, then after that step, I like going in with a setting spray just to kind of help everything, all the products mix in and kind of settle together. So I've been using the Professional Super Setter. I've been using this for years. I stopped using it for a little bit and was using like the Sephora collection one. I tried out the Charlotte Tilbury, and then I went back to this one, and none of them compare to this. So this is definitely one of my favorite setting sprays. Okay, once that's all dried down, I'm gonna go in with the rest of my powder products. So I've been using, again, the Patrick Ta Duo palette, the powder bronzer this time. So like I said, it's not super pigmented and I don't love it as much as other bronzers that I have, but I do like it when I am wanting more of an everyday natural sort of look. So going in with that, I like to use a fluffy brush and just putting it in the areas that I've already put that cream contour. So like this helps to like set everything, but also add like a little bit more pigment back in after setting the face. I also like to bring it on the sides of my nose and like kind of under the eye a little bit, just to blend everything in nicely so it's not like dark and then really, really white. And then I also like to do a little bit along the jaw and kind of like down my neck a little bit too. Again, just to like kind of blend everything in so it's not all just like white one color and then my face is like contoured. Okay, then for blush, I really need to get some new blushes. I had to get rid of a lot of my stuff when I was moving from Shanghai to Canada. I had to get rid of a lot of stuff, and that included a lot of my makeup. So I really need to restock some of my makeup, and one of those things is blushes, because honestly, I think I just have 2 powder blushes right now. I have a peach color, which I love using in the summer, and then this is more of a mauvey pink color that I've been using in the winter. So it's the Sephora collection Colorful Matte Blushes. I'm not sure which shade it is because it is all in Chinese on the back, but it's just like a mauvey pink sort of color, so very natural looking. I like to go in with a little bit of that, again, the top of the cheekbones and under the eye as well. Then again, just to make sure it's not like too crazy, I like to go in with my beauty blender just to soften it a little bit. Next for eyebrows, I use the Precisely My Brow pencil from Benefit. I've been using this one for years. I really don't enjoy doing my eyebrows, so I tend to not look for new products to use. I really should try, I don't know, maybe using like a pomade or something again, just to try something new. But I just, yeah, I want to get my eyebrows done as quick as possible, and I find that this is the easiest way to do that. Super easy to use. It also has the brush on the end, so yeah, I just find it really easy to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. I'll do my brows off camera, but I'll just kind of tell you guys how I do them. So I like to draw kind of a line underneath, like on the lower part of my eyebrow, and then I start just drawing little strokes just to kind of fill in the bare areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows now. I'll be right back. Okay, the brows are done. So next for the eyes, I like to go in with a white base first to make sure everything's set and just to even everything out a little more. But I've been using the Tartelette In Bloom palette. This is just my go-to everyday palette. It's all nudes and natural sort of colors. There was a really nice shimmer shade here, which I really liked, but I unfortunately smashed it. So I don't have that one anymore, but you can obviously see which color I go in with the most. This neutral brown sort of shade here, that's my everyday sort of look. So first I go in with this white color here. And then next going in with a fluffy brush, going in with that brown color. It's called Smarty Pants. And I like to just kind of messily go along the crease and all over the eyelid. And then with that same color, I'm gonna use a pointed pencil brush and just gonna go on the lower lash line. And I like to focus it on the outer 2/3 rather than bringing it all the way into the inner corner, because again, I find that that opens up the eye more. And then like I'll highlight the inner corner there. Okay, then going in with a small little angled brush like this, I use the darker brown shade here. It's kind of like a chocolatey brown. I've been using that as an eyeliner. So I'm not gonna do a wing or anything. Sometimes I like to do a wing, but for my everyday look that I would wear for like work or somewhere where I want just a everyday, more natural look, I'll just line the lash line. So go in with the angled brush, pick up quite a lot of pigment, and I like to just press it along the lash line. I'm just gonna use my mirror because I need to see what I'm actually doing. And then with whatever's left on my brush, I like to just put a tiny bit on the outer bottom corner. And then going back in with that pointed brush, I just blend that out. And then next is probably one of my favorite steps, is going in with my highlighter. I love using highlighter, whether I'm doing like a no makeup look, a more glam look, like whatever the look is. Even if I'm just like using a little bit of concealer and mascara, I like to always go in with a highlight. So I've been using the Benefit highlight in the shade Cookie. This is like my all-time favorite highlight for every day. It is quite shimmery, but I love a nice shimmery highlight. So going in with that one, and I'm gonna use a little fluffy brush like this. I like to put it on the upper cheekbones, kind of bring it around the forehead a little bit. And then I go in with a more flat sort of brush. It's like still a bit fluffy, but more of a flat brush. And I go on eyebrow bone. And then in the inner corners, And I like to bring it like kind of more onto the eyelid as well, like that first like maybe quarter of the eyelid. Then next, going in with a little bit more setting spray. Next is the eyelashes, so I'm gonna curl my lashes first. So you just wanna make sure you get all the lashes in, and obviously none of your skin. And then typically you wanna like hold and kind of pump like 3 or 4 times, just to make sure you're getting the whole lash and not like gonna make a crease in the lash. Okay, then mascara. So I use the Maybelline The Rocket mascara. This is my all-time favorite mascara in the whole world. Like, and honestly, I love all of Maybelline mascaras, but this is definitely my go-to mascara. I have it in the black shade, but I also love Maybelline again. I have the Lash Sensational in the brownish black shade. This is also a really nice one as well. Like if I am going for more of a natural look or a no makeup look, I'll use my brown shade. But for this look, I like to use my black one. Going along the lower lash line as well. The lower lash line, I don't like to like fully coat them because I feel like that can sometimes make it look a little bit like spidery. So I just go in with the end and go like this, and I feel like that makes it look more like wispy and natural. And I like to go in with a few coats of mascara, so I'm gonna do a few more. Then the last step is of course lips. So I'm going in with the NYX lip liner in the shade Nude Beige. This is my go-to everyday lip liner. I love it. It's just such a nice nude color, not too pink, not too orange, not too brown. It's just perfectly in between. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips. I also like to fill in the whole lip as well. Okay, so then going in with my lip oil. So I don't use any lipstick. My favorite combo right now is just going in with my lip liner, filling my whole lips, and then going in with a lip oil, a lip gloss, any sort of glossy lip product. So this is the new Summer Fridays lip oil. I have it in the shade Blush Dreams. I absolutely love this. I feel like it lasts a really long time on my lips, and it also like adds a little bit of a color to the lips as well, which I really like. I have 4 different shades, so this was definitely the one that stood out more to me for more of a natural look. It's just such a pretty color, and I love it. Feels really nice on the lips as well. Okay, that is everything. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. So as I said, this is my everyday go-to makeup. I feel like I've like mastered this look and can rely on it like if I'm in a rush or I just need to slap something on my face. This is the look I will go for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you decide to try out this look. But thank you so much for being here and being here for my first tutorial video. There will be plenty more to come, so stay tuned. But for now, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!